Good day to all of you and the warmest welcome to the new time on Jibek Joly World. The development of agriculture, industry, road, infrastructure, food production, as well as business support, these are the 5 key priorities outlined by the Kazakh President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev at a meeting with the residents of the Zhetisu region during his working trip.
At the meeting with the region's residents, the head of state instructed to fix the situation with queues at the Kazakh-Chinese border. To do this, it is necessary to speed up the introduction of an electronic queue at the Alakol and Nurjoly border checkpoints, Tokayev noted. It's obvious that freight vehicle congestion causes discontent among drivers. To tackle the issue, it is necessary to speed up the implementation of the electronic queue at the Alakol and Nurjoly border checkpoints. Another step to substantially boost economic potential of the region and the country as a whole could be the creation of a laboratory accredited by the Chinese standards, which will enable to increase Kazakhstan's export to China. It is already planned to open such a laboratory in Khorgos. It is necessary to intensify the dialogue with Chinese colleagues for the fast and effective implementation of the given project. The head of state also announced that over 100 million hectares of land are not used in the Zhetisu region, and half of them have already been returned to the state. The president assured that all these lands will be returned and fairly distributed among the region's farmers, and instructed the governor to personally monitor the given issue. The plentiful and abundant land of Zhetisu, with its rich water resources and fertile soil, is a real gift for farmers. All we have to do is to properly use it. On my instructions, the government returned around 5 million hectares of unused land to state ownership this year. This work will help to address the problem of the shortage of rangelands in the vicinity of villages. It is of great importance to fairly distribute the returned lands among the farmers. This measure will become a significant step towards building a just society. Apart from that, President Tokayev noted that on his instructions, the government, together with the regional governor's office, is working on the issue of establishing a branch of a major foreign technological university in Taldykorgan. It will train professionals in agriculture, industry, tourism, and digital technologies. According to the head of state, this will reduce the outflow of young people from the region and provide the local economy with highly qualified personnel.
The state border between Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan will not change even in case of a possible decrease in the water level in the Caspian Sea. The corresponding agreement was approved by the members of the upper house of the Kazakh parliament. The Senate notes that the document will allow eliminating possible territorial disputes with the neighboring country. This is the first ever document that legally secures state borders on the Caspian Sea. It was developed not only to mark boundary lines, but also delimit fishing areas. The members of the Kazakh parliament emphasized that it contributes to the strengthening of good neighborliness between the states, recognizing the importance of the Caspian Sea in terms of political, economic, social, and cultural fields. It bears noting that the agreement on the Kazakh-Turkmen state border was signed in Ashgabat on October 25, 2021.
Осыдан Қазақстанның Түркменстанмен мемлекеттік шекарасын делимитациялау процесін аяқтау.
The agreement makes it possible to complete the process of delimitation of the state border between Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan, legally securing the state boundaries on the Caspian Sea. It will foster good neighborly relations between the two countries and develop mutually beneficial cooperation.
Одан әрі нығайтуға және өзара тиімді ынтымақтастықты дамытуға ықпал етеді деп сенеміз.
Kazakhstan has a great potential in developing the additional transportation routes between Europe and Asia. This was discussed at the 35th meeting of the Berlin Eurasian Club in Brussels. The forum was attended by over 70 representatives of the EU institution business circles, international organizations, and expert community.
Experts attending the meeting of the Berlin Eurasian Club noted that they support Kazakhstan's large-scale reforms and intend to maintain political contacts and continue cooperation on projects for the development of transport and logistics links. In turn, representatives of domestic relevant agencies and companies clearly showed that the European side how the Trans-Caspian international transport route will be developed.
В свете геополитической ситуации есть вопрос по дальнейшему.
In the light of the geopolitical situation, the question arises regarding the further passage of Kazakhstan's cargo, both the transit and export ones. And this is just one of those alternative routes that allow doing it. The transit flow of this route was increased by 2.5 times, and this is not its limit yet. So everything depends on the well-coordinated work of other partner countries.
В основном зависит все от слаженной работы других стран-партнеров.
Das ist sicherlich nicht das vollständige Bild.
There are all the prerequisites for Kazakhstan to have a key role in the development of certain transport routes, both in northern and southern directions. The middle corridor will also be actively developed. At present, it is possible to transport about 70,000 container units along it. It is desirable to bring this figure to 1 million, and this requires good infrastructure. There is something to work on in the future, and we are ready for it. The meeting of domestic and European experts showed great interest in economic and social reforms in Kazakhstan and the readiness of both parties for further cooperation in transport, logistics and other areas of mutually beneficial partnership.
And when you look at the geopolitical scene at all, it's a defining, function. Nothing works there without Kazakhstan, and it's absolutely important. Everybody mentioned it. The country between the biggest country on earth and the biggest country by population, it's absolutely important.
An energy crisis will be the main topic of discussion at a two-day summit of the leaders of the 27 EU countries. They are expected to consider a new package of measures proposed by the European Commission. In particular, participants will talk about joint gas purchasing and a dynamic cap. It bears noting that 15 states, include Poland and France, insist on a broader price cap on all gas imports and gas transactions, while Germany, the Netherlands and several other countries oppose such a decision.
Concerned about inflation, concerned about the energy bills, concerned about the winter. The best response is European solidarity and European unity.
The UK inflation accelerated to a 40-year high in September, exceeding 10% rate, the Office for National Statistics of the country reports. It is noted that such a high level of inflation is primarily driven by the soaring food prices, which leapt by 14.5%, the biggest jump since 1980. Experts say that the prices of bakery products, cereals, meat products, milk, cheese and eggs are rising the fastest. There has also been a significant surge in the cost of household goods and furniture, as well as utilities. Taken into account the wage indexation, the average income of the population fell by 3%, the highest in 20 years. Meanwhile, the Bank of England warns that the next year's inflation may exceed 13%. Kazakhstan is increasing its car production despite global shortages. In the first 9 months of 2022, the country produced more than 78,000 vehicles of all types. It is 23% more compared to the same period last year. According to Kazakhstan's Association of Automobile Businesses, the country is not slowing down its car production pace, although the global automotive industry is currently experiencing certain obstacles with the supply of auto parts. Nevertheless, since the beginning of the year, vehicles worth 799.5 billion tenge have been produced in Kazakhstan. Overall, by the end of 2022, vehicle production is projected to grow by at least 7%. For now, this is just a forecast, and in the first place is the manufacturing of passenger cars. Their number has increased by nearly 30% compared to last year. In total, it is more than 71,000 cars. They are mainly produced in Kostanay. Since the start of 2022, over 48,000 cars and trucks and buses have been assembled there. The plant in Almaty manufactured nearly 26,000 cars. Over 1,600 vehicles were produced in Semey and about 900 trucks in Kokshetau. A new production facility has appeared in northern Kazakhstan. Paper and cardboard products will now be manufactured in Petropavl. The enterprise, with the investment worth 22.5 billion tenge, is expected to take up to 15% of the domestic market. The factory plans to produce nearly 20 kinds of products, mainly secondary raw materials collected among the local residents and in other regions of the country, will be used in manufacturing. The company's management intends not only to strengthen the positions in the domestic market, but also to increase the export of goods to Russia up to 40%.
Our enterprise is the only one to use steam from the Petropavl thermal power plant 2 in the production cycle, which allows reducing the price of products. For example, the cost of the cheapest paper is 50 tenge per roll, while presently the average price varies from around 70 to 75 tenge.
Да, на сегодняшний день где-то цена варьируется в районе 70-75.
That's all the news we've got for you today. Make sure to stay tuned, and I'll see you very soon.